Tiger, where'd you go, man? I hate when you do that. Ah, what the?
Welcome to this week's show. Yeah, I know, half you guys just fell out of your chair and the other half of you guys had your jaw on the floor. But we're not talking about sniping. My opinion still stands on that. So take a ride with an old school player. Let me show you some of the old school tricks. Alright, I know what you're saying. Tiger, you're wearing the ghillie suit. You're out in the woods. You're using the longbow. Why can't you just call it sniping and get it over with? Because it's still not sniping. That's just my opinion. However, since everybody seems to want to use it as a term of convenience, fine. You can call it whatever you want to. I'm going to call myself a paintball Eskimo. Do a search. You'll find it.
Wish I had a snowball right now.
You know I throw it back. What we're going to be doing in this episode is going to be combining a whole bunch of other concepts from previous episodes. So, yeah, you might have seen all this before, but what we're doing is we're mashing it together and bringing it all into one complete package. It's not just about the camouflage. It's not just about the stealth. It's not just about the accuracy. It's being able to do it all simultaneously and knowing how much to tweak here, how much to tweak there. But one of the things I want to get across here is that a lot of this stuff is things that work for me. It might not work for you, but my experience tells me that it works for me. A lot of what I'm going to give you here is not the perfect way to do things. The perfect way to do things is the way that you are comfortable doing them. I'm just giving you a place to start. Take what I give you, tweak it so that you're comfortable with it, make it your own. I'm not perfect. What I'm telling you is not the perfect, absolute way to do things, but it's a way to start. At least that's, what I figure. I'll be damned. Let's start by talking about camouflage. You're in the woods, might as well use it. When you're talking about sneaking around and being the ultra sneaky guy in the woods, you can't do better than what I'm wearing right now. This is something called a ghillie suit. The ghillie suits were invented, I want to say around World War I by Scottish gamekeepers. They've evolved a lot since then, and this is sort of a modern version of it. When you're talking about camouflage, you're talking about two basic types. You're talking about aggressive camouflage and passive camouflage. Aggressive is more your patterns like woodland and tiger stripe, and passive are more your patterns like realtree and rebark and all that other like hunting camouflages. But the ghillie suit breaks all the rules because it's active and passive at the same time. It's passive in that it looks like the background, but it's active in that it breaks up your silhouette in the foreground. There are several types of ghillie suits on the market that you can purchase, like this one from Spec Ops, or you can probably build your own if you're halfway talented at it. I know a lot of people who can do some wonders with some burlap and some old BDUs. But when you're talking about ghillie suits, you want to make it yours. Again, it's all about making your own self comfortable, making it so that it is personalized to you. If you're not comfortable wearing it for 5 minutes in your basement, you're not going to be comfortable at a 24-hour scenario game out here. Yo, kick the music down. This is serious. Cool. I do want to hit one topic about ghillie suits, and that is fire. Fire is not your friend in a ghillie suit. The reason is that a lot of people make their ghillie suits out of things like burlap or string or other materials like that. And what you're wearing basically is a large wick. There's already been one person at a scenario game who has walked past a fire and has caught up and has second and third degree burns all over his body. There are several Marines and several military snipers every year that die because a cigarette ash or a hot shell casing or something that they thought was not even worth looking at catches the end of their ghillie suit and it goes up. If you make your own ghillie suit out of burlap or string or any other material, fireproof. Go over to the hardware store, get yourself a can of fire retardant, apply it liberally. Plus, when you're at the field, be aware. When you're walking anywhere, you don't want to get anywhere close to fire pits, you don't want to get anywhere close to barbecues, anybody who's smoking. Stay away from anything that's flammable. Paintball's just a game. It's not worth injuring yourself that badly over. Alright, you can kick the music back up. One of the reasons I hate it when people say, oh, I'm a paintball sniper, is because their version of sniping is sitting behind their flag station and hoping the opponents show up. That's not sniping, that's sitting back at the base and waiting. I can do that at home, in front of the TV. No, the way that you help your team is you got to get out there, you got to get into the game. And the way you do that is through movement. So how do you learn how to move? Same way you get to Carnegie Hall. Practice, practice, practice. Yeah, I know, a joke's even older than I am. Fine. So here's a couple drills that you can take with you. Try them at home. First drill we're going to talk about is one that actual military snipers use, and that is trying to shoot while you're being watched. The setup for this is you need one person to be an observer, you need a target or a specific thing that you're going to shoot at, and of course you need yourself. You start at a designated station, preferably out of line of sight from the observer. You then have half an hour to crawl, move, or do whatever it takes to get into position to shoot the target. If the spotter finds you, the spotter wins.
Gotcha. Right there. Stand up.
Yeah. If you can shoot the target before the spotter finds you, you win.
Still don't see you. Where are you at? Good shot. Oh, there you are.
If nothing else, it's a really fun way to kill an afternoon. The second drill I'm going to give you is one that I call Jim's drill because, well, Jim came up with it. And if nothing else, it embarrasses the heck out of him when people, like walk up to him, dude, were you that guy in the tit clips? The basic drill is one person stands facing away from you while you try to stalk up on them. Sounds really easy, right? See how close you can get before they hear you. When they hear you, they can just put their hand up in the air to signal that they have heard you. Drills like this come in handy for scenario games because a lot of times you'll be sitting on a trail and an entire squad will just run right past you. And instead of just sitting in your spot and hoping that more people run past you, you'd really want to get up and start stalking them. It's counter moves. They're making a move past you, they missed you. You're making the counter move to take all of them out so that you benefit your team. Learning how to stalk and learning how to move up on people who are not facing you is part of that. He's rolling his eyes back there like, oh man, don't name the thing after me. Well, you did. See, this is what happens when you go to college and you're bored overnight. Something you might notice when I'm doing these drills is that I'm carrying all my equipment and I'm wearing my goggles while I'm doing them. The reason is that you want to practice as you play as much as you can. So even if you're doing a non-shooting drill, make sure you have all the equipment that you normally play with on you. That way, it's comfortable, you're doing the same drill over and over again with the gear you're going to be playing with, so when you get to the field, it's second nature. The third thing to practice is just basics, stalking, crawling, and generally moving. And the best way to practice it is to just do it. If you're bored some afternoon, go throw on the stuff and get out in the woods and go try it. The moment you think that you have mastered a skill, you still have a lot left to learn of that skill. Like I said, it's all about practice. Get to the point where you're comfortable doing it and comfortable doing it always. And that's that. You can hit stop.
Just creep out for me.
What's that?
Creep out for me.
Creep out?
Creep out. Crawl, no, not.